Hello, lovelies. How are you all doing? The festive season has me in a mood, and I'm sure you guys are feeling that festive season too. I am all up for all these festivities that are happening these days, and it just feels so good. There's something about the air during this time of the year. Oh god, that fragrance, and you kind of suddenly start feeling the winter is approaching and you can just smell it in the air. I hope I am making some sense here, but it actually does smell so different. All right, so as you must have guessed by the title, it is all about skincare today. And I thought that during this festive season, when we all want to look our best, I should do a festive, skincare routine that I like to kind of do to bring my skin to its best. So, this is what we're doing today, and I am a very, very dry skin type. So, I need to kind of pay special attention to moisturization and hydration. And now that winters are right here around the corner, I have to make sure that my skin is totally moisturized, and that moisture is all logged in. So that is what I'm going to kind of pay attention today in today's video. So without further blabbering, let's get into it. So now the first and the most important thing is to always make sure that you get rid of all the makeup that is there on your face before you go in for your beauty sleep. And there are multiple ways that you can do it. There are so many products available in the market to remove your makeup, but the best and the most effective way would always be double cleansing. I'm sure you've heard about this term so many times everywhere, but how you actually do it and the correct way to do it is what actually makes a lot of difference. So there are cleansing balms available, there are oil cleansers available, there are cleansing creams available, there's micellar water and whatnot. You must have even seen so many people using coconut oil, baby oil to get rid of your makeup. But believe me, cleansing balms make such a huge difference, and the removal process becomes so much quicker, so easier, that you would actually notice on how quickly and how effectively it actually gets rid of your makeup. So I like to use the Clinique Take the Day Off Cleansing Balm, and if you look at that texture, it's like a complete balmy texture, and I have some scoop out of it. So what you actually do is you scoop some out of it and you rub it on your face, warm it up, and then it would transform into an oil. And as you can see right here on my face, so this oil is what is actually going to kind of melt away all the makeup, including this mascara that I have on. This is a waterproof mascara, and I'm just going to keep rubbing and massaging this oil into the skin until all my makeup melts off. And now all I'm going to do is take a bowl of water. This is the Garnier Micellar pad. You can take any washcloth, a small little face towel, anything that can help you remove all of this oil off. I'm just going to dip this into water, and I am going to wipe all of this off, and this way I am going to get rid of all the residue of this oil. And that is when I am going to be ready for my next step, which is going to be cleansing the face or getting rid of any residue from the cleansing balm or any makeup residue that is still left on the skin. And believe me, there is still quite a bit of it, and you really want to get rid of everything. So for that, I am going to be using the simple moisturizing facial wash, and you can use any face wash according to your skin type. And since I am again a dry skin, I like to use a moisturizing face wash. It just, kind of feels, it does not strip away my skin, it does not make my skin, feel very dry, and it's just as if somebody's really pulling onto my skin. It just helps me feel better, and that is why I like to use a moisturizing one. And I am going to pair it with my Foreo Luna 3. So these silicone heads that we can see right here are going to make sure that our skin is gently exfoliated, very, very gentle. And also it is going to make sure that it is cleaned thoroughly and there is no unwanted residue from the cleansing balm or the makeup that I was wearing left. So that is what makes a lot of a difference. But I really want to add on here that if you do not have Foreo or any other brand of cleansing brushes available in the market, believe me, I do not always use it, but especially when I'm getting ready for the festive season right around the corner, I like to kind of incorporate such devices into my routine. But you don't always have to do it. If you do not have it available, you can seriously just use your face wash. Take your time when you're massaging your face wash. You really should be massaging your face wash for about a minute before you wash it off. And the best part about this Foreo device is that it vibrates, as you can see. I'm sure you can hear it. So it vibrates. So it is set for a minute. You can, kind of change the settings through your mobile phone through an app, and it is set for a minute, and it actually forces you to massage your face wash for about a minute before you wash it off, because that is what thoroughly cleanses your skin. So moving on, it is now time to soothe the skin a tiny little bit before we move on to the next step, and therefore I am going to be using the Caudalíe Beauty Elixir, inspired by the Elixir of Youth used by Queen Isabel of Hungary. The skincare visibly smooths features, tightens the appearance of pores, and gives you a burst of radiance to the complexion. And I honestly, truly agree to each and every word written here. And look at that mist, which is so fine, right? This can be used by all skin types. It contains organic balm mint. It contains grapes, orange blossom, rose, organic balm mint, and rosemary. And just hearing those ingredients makes me, feel so calm. So this is what I like to use when I just want some burst of hydration, when I'm looking for that instant revival. So this is something that I really like to use on the go, and when I'm actually looking for that instant pick me up, this is my go-to. And before I move on to some more exfoliation, getting rid of all the dead skin cells, I really need to soothe my skin so it just is ready for the next step. Now the next step for me is a facial mask. So this one by OleHenriksen, which is a PH80 Glow Facial. Believe me, this is a celebrity favorite product. This is a facial mask. It really honestly kind of gets rid of all the dead skin, instantly exfoliates and illuminates, contains PHAs, which is polyhydroxy acids, and Nordic birch sap, fights all major signs of aging. And now that I've turned 30, I was about to say 80 for some reason, but now that I've turned 30, I really need all of the things in the world that can help me fight any progressive aging. So this right here is it, and all you gotta do is apply an even layer to clean dry face, massage until it transforms from pink to white, leave on for 15 minutes and remove with a damp washcloth. Pretty easy and pretty quick. Use 2 times per week, day or night. Can be used before a makeup application. Do not use on eye or lip area. So I really like to use this for before I am getting ready for any special event, or obviously the festive season, or I have, now that the wedding season is also right around the corner, I really like something like this, very very quick. And especially when I am not in a mood or I do not have the time to get an hour long facial done, I like something as quick as this, just 15 minutes, while I'm probably just picking out my dress, getting my hair done. My skin is going to be absolutely ready for the to actually be looking supremely brilliant for my special occasion. While I'm waiting for 15 minutes to let my mask do its thing, I wanted to share something super important with you, and that is about AHAs, PHAs. So much available in the market that can be so confusing for a common user like you and me. So therefore, your girl is right here to explain things to you so that you can get the maximum out of your skincare and also choose the right ingredient for your skin type. So AHAs, I think I actually would also be making a separate video about this, but this tiny little piece of information is going to be a bonus for you today. So AHAs, basically alpha hydroxy acids, BHAs beta hydroxy acids, PHAs polyhydroxy acids. Now what these basically just do is they kind of increase the cell turnover, making sure that you are getting rid of the dead skin and there is new skin getting regenerated very very quickly. Now AHAs make you extremely sensitive to sunlight, and therefore you want to make sure that you're always wearing a sunscreen whenever you're using an AHA. And retinols, if you've heard, are a kind of AHA. Alright, so now this particular facial mask contains PHAs, which is polyhydroxy acids. This particular ingredient does not make you sensitive to sunlight, even though you should be definitely wearing a sunscreen in the daytime. But especially when you're using AHAs or BHAs, you have to make sure that so there are certain times that you and I, of course, forget to wear a sunscreen. But with AHAs and BHAs, you cannot be taking that chance because you actually can burn pretty quickly when you use an ingredient like BHAs. But with PHAs, it is still, kind of okay in case you, kind of forget or skip your sunscreen the next day. Now, PHAs are especially good to fight signs of aging, and especially for sensitive skin. When you are, so AHAs can of course be pretty harsh, and they're very good of course, but can be pretty harsh if you've not been using it. For beginners, of course, it can be a little bit of a troublesome journey. So therefore, PHAs in that case are going to be your friend, especially when you have sensitive skin, which can kind of react to pretty much everything on the planet. So that was like a bonus little information for you. And now that it's been 15 minutes, I'm going to quickly get rid of the facial mask and be right back. Look at that skin. It just looks so stunning. I just feel that I can see that glow. I can see that, freshness, that youthfulness back into the skin. And this was the ultimate goal, honestly, because this is a nighttime routine that I usually like to do before my special events or the festivities begin. So I am doing this at night. So therefore, I am going to be applying my hydrating serums. I am going to be applying loads of moisturizer. So you really want to make sure that anything that you use is according to your skin type. If you're an oily skin person, then you really want to make sure that you're not using a very rich moisturizer, something like I would be using today. You want to stick to water-based or gel-based moisturizers, otherwise it can break you out. So these are certain things that you really want to keep in mind. All right, so without further blabbering, let's move on to the next step. I am going to bring back the hydration into my skin with the CosRX Advanced Snail 96 Mucin Power Essence. Can you see that texture? So this is more like glycerin. We've all heard so many things about snail essence in skincare. This particular product, even oily skin girls can use, but guys, of course, can use this as well. So any of my oily skin babies out there can use this product. So this definitely gives you a boost of hydration, as you can see. But I really want to tell you, you might feel a little bit of stickiness after you've applied this. But what I really want to tell you is that at this point, I do not think that, snail essence does something like out of this world for you. This is, of course, this is an humectant. What it basically does is keeps that hydration logged into your skin, as good as glycerin basically, because glycerin also is an humectant which you can honestly get at a fraction of price of this one. But since I purchased it, I'm of course going to use it. I really like the product. It's not like there's something wrong with the product, but you can of course get a similar effect and get similar results by just using a glycerin based serum, moisturizer, anything. So this basically says, being 96% snail secretion filtrate, this essence helps the skin to lose less moisture while keeping the skin smooth and healthy. And I totally agree with the facts written on the packaging, and it truly does that. Again, I'm telling you, it's a humectant. What it basically does is locks in the moisture into the skin so it does not feel very dry, and the skin of course remains very supple and bouncy. So this is what it does. So also at this point today, I opted for this particular serum. You could be using a hyaluronic acid serum, which of course both dry and oily skins can use. And so I just want to here mention that once you're done with all the cleaning and cleansing part, you've gotten rid of all the dead skin, you've used an exfoliating mask as well. Now is the time that you want to bring back the hydration and the moisturization. So we are going to step it up in the order of the lightest product. So since this is almost water based as well as any hyaluronic acid serum as well, so it's all water based, so that's going to be the lightest product onto the skin, and this is the order that you always use, lightest to the heaviest. So water based to oil based, this is the order that you always want to follow. So now we've already used a water based serum to kind of bring back the hydration. I am going to let this sit on the skin for about a minute or two before it is completely absorbed into the skin, and then move on to my next product. So the next product for me is going to be the Niacinamide 20% treatment by Paula's Choice. This is a clinical serum. That means that it is, very, very high in concentration, and what you usually get is 10%. Probably in the Indian market you will always see 10%, but this one is a 20% because I've been using actives in skincare for a pretty good time. So therefore I feel confident enough to kind of upgrade to a 20% serum. But if you're just starting out, please make sure you stick to 5%, 10% of the concentration, because you do not want to, overdo it altogether and kind of give your skin such a huge shock that it might react, adversely to it. So therefore, just a disclaimer out there. Now, why am I using a niacinamide? Because again, it is pretty hydrating, and it will always help me, get that bounciness into the skin, and it will also make sure that my skin elasticity is kind of reinforced, and of course reduce the appearance of pores. Now, please do not expect to have a poreless skin, because we are again humans, we have to have pores. This is how we are built, but having that appearance go down is of course a great thing. So this is a niacinamide 20% serum. Now, since I've used a PHA, which is of course pretty it is an exfoliating ingredient. So whenever I use AHAs, BHAs or PHAs, which are exfoliating in nature, I stay away from vitamin C and retinol, because this thing you always want to make sure that you never use AHAs, any of these hydroxy acids basically with vitamin C and retinol, because it can react adversely, and you of course do not want that. So this is a safe option whenever you're starting with active ingredients in your skincare. So after I'm done with all my water-based serums, I am going to moisturizers, and I always make sure that I try and use an eye cream. I will not say that I am like 100% regular with an eye cream. That will be a lie. Anybody's telling you that. There might be somebody who's so perfect that he or she always uses an eye cream, but I do not. To be very, very honest here, because that is what we value the most here on this channel. So this is the Innisfree green tea seed eye cream. I try my best to kind of incorporate in the skincare routine, but I usually do forget. So this is what we're using today. A lot of you always ask me, especially on Instagram, that is using an eye cream supremely important, or is it like a mandatory step in the skincare routine? I would say I am pretty dicey about it. Of course, the skincare industry has been advertising it as the most important step, since the skin under the eye area is pretty thin. I do agree to that, but the fact that you need a different moisturizer altogether just for the under eyes seems pretty too much to me. So of course it has ingredients that help, making sure that your under eye dark circles are kind of taken care of. Again, I would mention here, if you ever expect that an eye cream is going to get rid of your dark circles, that would never happen. I have been struggling with dark circles since I was a teenager, honestly. And when I was a teenager, I always thought that the only solution to my dark circles is an eye cream. But I pretty much came to realization that that never happens. I think by the time I was 20, yes. So I realized that this is not the case. If you ever want to really get rid of your dark circles, you must think about some cosmetic procedure, because that is the only thing that can truly get rid of your dark circles. Alright guys, so now that I am done with an eye cream as well, I am going to use the Nuxe Lift and Firm Rich Cream. This is a supremely thick, rich cream, and of course it is very good for my dry skin people out there. Extremely good. This one, when I am using this one, I of course do not need a facial oil, but if I'm using something which is a little bit thinner in texture, I do like to layer it up with a facial oil as well. So that is something that I really wanted to mention out here. But believe me, after this skincare procedure that I've done, the process, which is not very huge, honestly. Alright, so when I wake up the next morning after this routine that I've done right here, I am going to have such a great skin the next morning. And believe me, if you honestly follow something like this, I'm not expecting you to have the exact products, but pretty much one product in each category. So you are going to get a great skin, and it's going to be pretty supple, pretty hydrated, and would definitely be glowing a lot. You really won't need any expensive facial after this. I am somebody who truly believes that if you spend your money on your facial routines, I think once in a while they're pretty okay, but being able to manage it every month or so, it's pretty difficult for somebody like me, for sure. So I kind of like to invest in good skincare products that I can just use at home and see a difference. And believe me, each of the products that I showed here today does exactly the same. So at times, I also want to quickly mention here is that sometimes after I've used something exfoliating like the OleHenriksen facial mask, I do like to use another mask which is, very calming in nature, very moisturizing and very soothing. So that I would really recommend the Pixi Rose mask. So this is a very nourishing mask, and it is a jelly texture. So this one can be used by oily skin types as well. If you can see the texture, very jelly like, and of course it has a lot of water content in it. And sometimes I do also like to use a sleeping mask, something like the Summer Fridays jet lag mask. So this one is like a thick moisturizer that you can apply as a mask, as a moisturizer. So this can be used as a nightly mask, a daytime moisturizer, or an in-flight skin saver, because of course flights make your skin pretty dry. So this one, of course, that is how the name came up with. This is a jet lag mask, and it truly is such a savior, especially during these winter months when my skin would be feeling extremely dry. I would like to use something like this. Just put it on, go to sleep, and you wake up with baby soft skin the next morning. So something like this I really like to incorporate every now and then into my skincare, and that is how I really keep that dryness at bay, because I do not like my dry skin to feel parched and dry. So this is all that I do. So I think with this we come to the end of the festive skincare routine. And do not forget to apply your lip balm or apply a lip mask that can just hydrate your lips through the day. So coming to the end, I am going to see you guys in my next video. I really hope you enjoyed watching today's video, and I am going to make sure that I keep getting more videos that can just give you all that glow. It's not just during the festive season that you have to do this, please. You can just do this every and now and then, so you have that glowing skin throughout the year, throughout your life. And I wish you a youthful skin, not aging very quickly, please. We do not want this here. So I am going to see you guys in my next one, and thank you so much for watching the video. Please subscribe before you leave. If you really liked the video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends who are definitely looking for a festive glow up. Alright, so I am going to see you guys in my next one, and I love you all so much. Happy festive season, and very happy Diwali to all of those celebrating.